This week on Jersey Matters, another bombshell report from NJ.com. Leaked audio proves the Murphy administration was warned its nursing home edict early in the pandemic would cost lives. A massive fire in Ocean County damages homes and threatens lives. We'll take a close look at the aftermath. When are actors once again going to take the stage at New Jersey theater companies? We get the answer from the head of the New Jersey Theater Alliance. And Rutgers basketball is back. Hello, and welcome to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. And we begin with that NJ.com report on leaked audio from a conference call between the Murphy administration and administrators from New Jersey's nursing homes, where one of the administrators warns the Murphy administration that if they are forced to accept COVID-positive patients, it will cost lives. Listen.
Yes, but patients will die. You understand that by asking us to take COVID patients and by demanding that we take COVID patients, that patients will die in nursing homes that wouldn't otherwise have died if we kept them out by screening everybody.
Here is NJ.com and the Star Ledger reporter Susan Livia with more on her report. Sue, thanks so much for doing this. We normally don't have a guest on again this quickly. We just had you on, but you are doing exemplary work, you and Ted Sherman at NJ.com and the Star Ledger, and you broke another story about a conference call that the Murphy administration had very early on in the pandemic. I believe it was March 31st, with nursing homes and long-term care facility administrators. Tell us about the story. Tell us about what was said.
Sure. I should preface this by saying that I think other media had reported the call last year. It didn't get a lot of attention. We were looking to compare New York and New Jersey. You know, Cuomo and Governor Murphy are under so much scrutiny for these decisions about sending people back into the nursing homes after they left the hospitals discharged for being treated with COVID. So we've heard about this call before. We got the audio tape, and what we heard was real stress, real consternation from, there were a couple hundred nursing home operators on the line, and they were saying, you realize that if we have to accept people back from the hospital, this is going to spread the disease. People will die, is what they said. And listening to that call, it sounded like the state, the health officials understood the concern and gave people the option, saying, if you can't do this, let us know and we'll find a place. There were nursing homes that were accepting nothing but COVID patients from the hospital. They had made some arrangements. But what we know anecdotally is that these people came back and there weren't enough staff in some facilities. There weren't enough space to properly cohort, they call it, or segregate the healthy from the newly recovering COVID patients. And it caused an issue.
Right. I've heard the governor talk about your story and the leaked phone call, and he's insisted over and over again. I believe his quote was, "We made it crystal clear that if they couldn't handle the COVID positive patients, they did not have to accept them." Is that your understanding, that that's what happened?
Yes, it is. And I think what's interesting about that is, this is an industry that's dominated by for-profit providers, and relying on them to police themselves. And given, how overworked, overburdened the health department is, they really weren't going in for a few months to do inspections. It was relying on the professionalism of an industry that a lot of people in the advocacy world feel like the state doesn't really police very well.
Opponents of the governor have been attacking him, saying that he caused patients to die by this order that other governors gave as well, including Governor Cuomo, and he's being investigated for that now. Jack Ciattarelli has been out in front in this, the leading Republican candidate for governor. In your reporting, do they have a point?
Governor Murphy has had strong popularity poll readings, but there is a very vocal or group of senior citizen advocates, people who are advocating for their families in long-term care facilities. They believe that this order helps spread the disease. And before people really had a handle on it, before they had adequate protective equipment, I think it will be an issue. I know it's an issue. Jack Ciattarelli issued his first ad this week, which featured this story, this information, this directive from the health department. I think it's something that's going to haunt him for a while.
Is it any of your reporting, do you find proof that any of these attacks are true?
What I have found is, based on interviews with staff at some of these nursing homes, that some of them were not equipped to take this on. So what's true anecdotally is some of them weren't doing this the right way. And it seemed that without inspections weren't happening until late April. This was going unchecked.
If there is blame to give for that, I emphasize that, if there is blame to give for that, do you know where the blame lies?
I don't. New Jersey, among other states, enacted a law that protected nursing homes and other healthcare facilities, doctors, a lot of people who were stepping up and really pressed during this pandemic. They gave them immunity, and except in cases of gross negligence. The bar is really going to be high. So from a civil legal standpoint, it's not clear if there will be any restitution or justice for people who feel wronged by this. There are investigations going on at the federal and state level. It's hard to know what will come of them. Well,
so again, exemplary reporting. I think that right now, yours and Ted Sherman's reporting on this on NJ.com and the Newark Star Ledger is a must read. And so I encourage everyone to find your reporting and follow along. Thank you so much for your time today.
Susan Livio, NJ.com reporter. Still to come on Jersey Matters, a record amount of money was spent lobbying in New Jersey last year. So exactly what does $105 million buy you? We'll talk to an insider next.